Let's be real. Have you ever felt that sinking feeling, that bit of panic during the CELPIP reading test? Well, you are definitely in the right place. In this explainer, we're going to flip the script on that anxiety. We're going to turn that panic into points with a strategy that actually works.
It's a crazy question, right? You read emails, news articles, all sorts of things in English every single day, no problem. But then, the CELPIP timer starts and suddenly it feels like a completely different language. It's so frustrating. But what if I told you the problem isn't your English at all?
This idea right here changes everything. You have to understand, this test isn't about how well you could read a novel. No, it's a game. It's a game of finding specific information under a lot of pressure. And just like any game, you can learn the rules and you can learn how to win.
So here's our game plan for today. First, we'll dig into why this test feels so tough. Then we'll talk about a huge mindset shift from reading to hunting. After that, we'll get into the practical stuff, 3 secret speeds and a 90-second battle plan you can use every time. And finally, we'll cover how to spot and dodge the tricky traps the test makers love to set.
All right, so first things first. Why on earth does this test feel so difficult? Well, the truth is, it's designed to punish the exact skills that you were taught in school were good reading habits. I know, it sounds backwards, but getting this is absolutely the key.
Here is the #1 thing you need to burn into your brain. Every single question is worth exactly 1 point. That's it. You don't get bonus points for careful reading or for understanding the author's deepest feelings. Nope. The only thing that gets you a point is finding the right answer fast. Speed is everything.
And this gets right to the heart of it. Think about it. Your whole life, you've been trained, start at the beginning, read every word, absorb every detail. Well, for CELPIP, that is the worst possible approach. You just don't have time for it, and frankly, you don't need to.
So, this brings us to the biggest, most important change you have to make. It's all in your head. You need to stop thinking of yourself as a reader. From now on, you are a hunter.
Just look at the difference here. The traditional reader on the left, that's who we've been trained to be. They read every word, they're careful, and they run out of time. But the CELPIP hunter on the right, they have one mission, and one mission only. Find the answer, lock it in, get the point, and move on. They're fast, they're focused, they're strategic. And this is the perfect way to think about it. The text isn't a story you have to enjoy. It's just a map, full of information. And the questions? They're your instructions, telling you exactly what treasure you're looking for. Your job isn't to admire the map, it's to find the X and dig.
Okay, so you've got the hunter mindset. Awesome. Now, every good hunter needs their tools, right? Most people only have 1 reading speed, slow and careful. To win this game, you're going to need 3.
So let's break them down. Skimming is like flying a drone over the area, just getting the lay of the land. Scanning, that's like using binoculars to zero in on one specific thing, a name, a date, a number. And close reading, that's your magnifying glass. You only pull that out for the really, really tricky part.
Okay, you need to remember this. This is the golden rule. You skim once, at the very beginning. You scan constantly, all the time, to find your answers. And you only use that super slow, time-draining, close reading, maybe 2 or 3 times the entire test. You master this, you master your time. So how do we put this all together into a plan you can actually use? Let's get practical. This is your 90-second battle plan for every single passage you face.
It's really that fast. Just 5 seconds on the title. Then spend about a minute just glancing at the first sentence of each paragraph. That's it. For 15 seconds, let your eyes jump around and catch any obvious landmark words, like names or numbers. And then for 10 seconds, you stop and you just ask yourself, okay, what was that generally about?
And let me be perfectly clear here. After those 90 seconds, you are not supposed to understand the passage. That is not the goal. The only thing you're trying to do is build a mental map. So you know, okay, the history stuff is in paragraph 2, the problems are in paragraph 3, that's all. This map is what lets you hunt so quickly later on.
All right, you've got the mindset, you've got the tools, you've got the plan. Now it's time for the final boss battle, recognizing the traps. The people who make this test are clever, and they write wrong answers that are designed to trick you. Let's learn their secrets.
Oh, this is the most common trap of all. You see a word in an answer that was in the passage, and your brain lights up, like, that's it, that's the one. But wait, so often they use that exact same word but change the meaning completely. You have to focus on the meaning, not just on matching words.
This one is really sneaky. You'll read an answer and think, yeah, that's true. The passage did say that. And it is a true statement. But does it actually answer the question that was asked? You have to always go back and check, is this answer relevant to the specific question?
Ah, the almost right trap. This is where they get you on the tiny details. The answer will look absolutely perfect, but they've swapped one little word. The passage said most people, but the answer says all people. You got to be a detective and look out for those extreme words like all, never, or only. They're usually a red flag.
Your brain is an amazing machine. It loves to make connections and fill in the blanks. The test makers know this. They'll give you an answer that seems totally logical, like a reasonable conclusion. But if you can't point to the exact sentence in the passage that proves it, it's a trap. You can't add your own logic to the text.
And really, it all comes down to this one powerful idea. You could have incredible advanced English skills and still fail this test if you don't have a strategy. And you could have intermediate English and get a fantastic score if you master the hunt. It really is about your method.
So the real question is, are you ready to make that change? Are you ready to put down the old, slow habits of a traditional reader and pick up the fast, efficient tools of a CELPIP hunter? The points are out there. They're just waiting for you to find them. Good luck.